Oh, I don't know what I was expecting, but this is not what I was expecting. Products that I was going to love, I didn't. And the products I didn't think I would love, I do. That's crazy. Hi, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Christina. I'm a trained makeup artist by trade, and I'm also a product enthusiast and I'm a cosmetic developer. That feels crazy to say, but we'll get into all of that. If you're here for Jesus and you know him well, awesome. Hopefully you will also get some product recommendations and makeup tips, and you will leave here feeling beautiful and encouraged. If you're here for makeup, welcome. There is lots and lots of makeup, and hopefully you'll also hear a little bit about Jesus, because without him, I can do absolutely nothing. So let's dive in. That last video was so long. I want to get some makeup on my face. Okay, glasses are off. And in my haul video, if you haven't seen that, I'll link that below. I mentioned that one of the point perks that I got for my epic, oh my gosh, it feels so good, for my epic Sephora haul is a trial set of Charlotte Tilbury products. Oh, you guys, I forget how amazing this product is, of which was a sample of her magic cream. I am a big fan of prep your skin before you put makeup on. If it's looking flaky, if it's not staying, if you feel like your skin is overreacting to things, put a barrier between your skin and your makeup. And this magic cream, it's hydrating. It smells good. It smells like a luxury spa fragrance. I love the magic cream. If you haven't tried it, I recommend getting a mini. Wait till it's on sale. It's very expensive. It's a splurge product, but I got this as my point perk, so that's what I'm prepping my skin with. The next product that I mentioned is the Milk Makeup Future Fluid All Over Cream Concealer. I've heard really good things about this, and I think for summer, and the type of makeup that I do is kind of like between no makeup some days and then everyday glam. You'll occasionally see me all the way glammed out, but in my real life and the things I need to get done, an everyday glam is kind of the extent of it. So products like this that I can use as concealer and then kind of cover some additional, I have some scarring, some hyperpigmentation, some redness. So if I can use this to cover that and it gives me that foundation look without having to wear a full foundation, fantastic. I'm gonna be using it today as a concealer because I bought a foundation that I want to try. If you saw my last video, you know. If you see Cookie and you know me, if you know, you know. So I'm gonna try to put just a little bit of this on. I'm not sure what to expect for coverage. So far, I really like this. I feel like it blended in well. I feel like it gave me some coverage with some of the color under my under eyes. The nose is really the test for me. My nose is my problem area. I have redness, large pores. I feel like it's where my foundation breaks up the most that I actually notice things. My nose is my trouble child. The other thing you'll see on my channel here a lot is sometimes I use brushes because I'm a trained makeup artist. Sponges, unless they're like disposable sponges, which don't perform great, are not a go-to for me. You'll usually see me using brushes, but because I am trying new products and I want to see how they actually settle into the skin, you're going to see me using a sponge as part of that application process today. That looks pretty good. I do feel like you can still see some of the color in my skin under my eyes, but it did cover up a little bit. I'm gonna do a second layer and see what kind of coverage we get. Yeah. First reaction is I really like it. I don't see it sitting intensely on the skin, but I do see some coverage from it, so I like that. The next product I'm already skeptical about because when I pulled it out of the box, if you watched my unboxing, I'll link it below. This product came out and it looks like a deluxe sample, but it had a full-size price tag with it, so it better be good. I am trying this Milk Makeup Contour Stick in the shade Stoked. I have seen some mixed reviews. Do you see this little cover on here? You have to be really careful how you get these off because it can just rip the product off, and if it does that, this is going back because it was too expensive for a little tiny... Look, we've already got a hole in the product because of the lid. Okay. Okay, well, I just got a little on my finger from that. I'm still gonna try this. I'm not super happy or impressed with that. I want more of a lifted feel, so I'm gonna go right on the edge of the bone. So we're just gonna go right here. I'm gonna start kind of like where my eyebrow comes down. A little on my chin. Oh yeah, this is not working. Did you see that like already crumble off? That's so disappointing. I will be right back. I need to get a tissue. This is turning into a disaster. Okay, we're back. That was a drama. Look at how broken this is just from removing the cap that it came with. I'm not impressed with that. I do feel like on the skin, it is very creamy, which I like. All right, we're gonna be done with that and throw it upon the forests. That's a pretty good product, but that packaging is a disaster. We're moving past it, and I am gonna take my stippling brush and just blend that in. Remember when you're blending this, you wanna blend up, okay? You wanna blend up, 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 right? We're staying right along the bone. Because I have, so most people have a forehead. I have a two head where I barely have, there's not a lot of room between her eyebrows and her hairline. Look, if I'm not careful, there's so little space here. If I really neglected the situation, I feel like my brows could easily just like grow into my baby hairs and just, the two would become one. I mean, that is really pretty on the skin, but the packaging of that is a nightmare. I don't even know if I truly got any on my chin. I will say this look that I'm doing today is more glam than I normally do because I'm trying all of these products at once. But this is a lot of steps for just every day. So it is to be able to give you my first impressions and my thoughts. My first impressions about that Milk contour stick are so mixed. The cream, it's blending out beautifully. The shade is beautiful. It's still a little bronzy and a little contoury where you get shadow and warmth, which is really hard to do. But that packaging was such a disaster. There's no way I can keep it. It was ruined from the second I opened it. Okay, well, we're just gonna make it work. Okay, next thing is the foundation. I don't know if you saw the unboxing that I did, but this product actually startled me. As I was pulling things out of the box just to unload them, not even looking at them, the sheer weight of this package was shocking. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in the shade 300 Medium Neutral. It is in this gorgeous glass bottle. That's where that weight is coming from. So I am gonna do one side of my face with a sponge and one side with a brush to see if there's any difference in application. So we'll do the sponge side first. Pretty runny, but it's blending out. I actually went over my contour, which I did not mean to do. I would advise you, I'll do it better on this side, but to kind of go under where you put that contour. It's higher coverage than I thought it would be, to be very honest, but the coverage and the finish on that is really nice. I will say this foundation is not cheap. It's not inexpensive, and there are a lot of drugstore foundations that are way more affordable that I think you could get a similar coverage. It's dewy without being like sweaty, glowy, you know, and it's skin-like, which is really nice. I think I like the brush side better, which surprises me. That's a really pretty foundation. The next thing I'm gonna do is set my under eye and do some selective kind of powdering with that. And I'm gonna use the Kosas Cloud Set Powder, which I've heard nothing but good things about. I'm in the shade Comfy Sheer Medium. And I bought a mini in this because I'm really like powder shy right now because I've had some texture and dryness. Powder just makes everything look worse. The pores on my nose, the texture on my face. So I've been really hesitant. This packaging is really pretty. Okay. All right, Kosas. I love these brushes too. These are Luxie brushes. I don't know, just the orange tip makes me feel like I'm ready for vacation. I am ready to go somewhere. I am ready to see something. I am actually really liking this powder. It's not so drying, but those areas that were a little dewy, it's definitely helping out with that. I like it. Okay, I get the hype. I get it. Especially if you don't have dry skin or you don't have a lot of texture, this is a really, really nice powder. The next step, and ordinarily, I don't think I would wear this much of this product to wear a foundation and the cloud powder and then another powder, but I am doing a Sephora Try On Haul for you, and I just want to get my hands in this product. I got the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder for face and eyes with Upsolite. And this, look at this packaging. I don't even know. Oh, I don't know what I was expecting, but this is not what I was expecting. I'm going to show it to you. It looks like a cream bronzer or cream foundation. It is a very unique texture. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting it to be more powder and less balm, and this is definitely more balm and less powder. But I'm gonna go ahead and powder this on. Wow. So this, one of its claims is that it's blurring and it's like an airbrush. Okay, I'm putting it all over. Wow. That is a super cool product. I would probably in the future do those in reverse order. I would put on the balm powder first and then the Kosas powder, but you know, we're learning. We're just going with the flow here. I am shooketh. That is an amazing product. I'm excited to try that with different foundations, by itself, with powder, without powder. I'm excited. And I am gonna go in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flushed, which is her blush. I do feel like I know what to expect more now, that I'm expecting this to be more like a balm or a cream blush than I am an actual powder. This shade is called Rose in Brunch, and look at this packaging. It's so pretty. I also thought in the past that would, oh, she's pigmented. Okay, we're gonna go in with a light hand. I do like that there's pigment in this, but it's also very easy to blend out because if you have more melanated skin, it's gonna show up on your skin and it's gonna stay there, which I really like. And I also will always take whatever's just left. Don't dip in fresh for this, but I'll just put a touch on the nose and even like a touch around here. And the reason I do that is because it's skin. When I didn't have any makeup on, I'm sure you noticed there were multiple areas where I had some flushing or some redness, and I want to look like me, just more polished, right? And so that is a really cool product. When you're applying blush, to apply it, I know people are saying now, like, don't put it on the apples of your cheeks. It depends on your face shape. I like my blush to go up a little bit, like up the bone here, because that's where my cheekbone is. But I also have, my bone comes down a little bit further. So I do also put it on the actual bone itself. Okay, wow. If I'm honest, I didn't know if I was gonna love that product, but that is really pretty. I'm pleasantly surprised. I honestly thought the products that I was going to love, I didn't, and the products I didn't think I would love, I do. That's crazy. I actually decided, this is like kind of a life change for me. I don't know, eyeshadow palettes and the whole big eye and 800 colors and blend, blend, blend is just not the season I'm in right now. So I'm actually not going to do a color on my eyes. I'm kind of going for like a juicy look with liner, and like a juicy face look with an eyeliner, and then I'll do kind of more of one of these bold lips, bold for me lips. But the focus is just not gonna be on eyeshadow. The thing I have been doing is that single shadow where you just kind of pat it in, and it just gives you a little light or a little dimension on the eyes, but I'm I'm not feeling it today, so I'm not gonna add any eyeshadow. Is that crazy? Who am I? I am gonna do brows, however, and I actually have a full size of the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel, clear brow gel, and I love this product. It came with a mini in that Sephora favorite set that I got. I will definitely be cracking into that, but I still have some of this left. So I'm gonna do that. And honestly, let's not look too closely at my brows, okay? They need a little love. I had the brow girl. She was amazing. And then we moved out of state. And so now I'm trying to find a new brow person. And look, you have to date a while with somebody, and I haven't found them yet. So my brows are in, what do they say, like with football and stuff? Like, we're in a growth year. My brows are in a growth year. My thing that I'm doing with my brows right now is the Anastasia brow gel. And then if I want to go in and give them a little bit of fill-in, a little bit of color, especially if you are doing like a bold eye or a big liner, even a bold lip, like you don't want your brows to fade into the background and take the dimension out of the top of your head. So I am going in with the brow gel, and then I go in with, this is the Essence Eyebrow Brush and the Sigma powder. I am in the duo of Color and Shape Duo brow powder in dark. There is a lot of discussion in my life about what color my hair is, and it's so funny because a lot of people weigh in on that topic. I didn't really think it was a topic. And the more I started talking about it, the more I realized that people think that I have black hair, and I don't. I have very dark brown hair, but it is brown, and you can see it mostly when I'm in the sunshine. You'll see like more of the red tones that come out, and look, there's a little gray in there, but I just want to be fair that I have had a little gray in my hair since I was 12. So I don't know. It didn't ever make me feel old to have gray in my hair because it's been there since I was 12. So that just, do you see what I mean? How it just darkens them up a little bit. It's not scary. That is something I wish more people did, is stopped using pencils that are so, if you can't get that like the harsh line, or if you're not sure how to draw in, I love powder and a brush. And I love these two, Essence Brush, Sigma powder. But honestly, even if you have a dark brown eyeshadow and an eyeshadow palette, just dip a little bit in there and just brush it in. And then the gel holds on to that like a fiber and gives you dimension in your brows. I am going to tight line really quick with the Sephora 12-hour colorful crayon contour eye pencil. That is a mouthful. I got the shade Tiramisu. This is a waterproof shade, and it is a gel pencil. This was recommended by Jessica Braun. I'm going to do this off camera because I think tight lining looks scary to watch somebody do, but I'm going to put this in my eye up here, and I'm going to go all the way along where my lashes actually grow out. I'll be right back. This went on super smooth. I like that it's a dark brown. It matches my hair and eye color, and I can just kind of like go in, and it kind of just brings in, I don't know if you can tell the before and after. Rewind 10 seconds and look. It's not a drastic difference, but it is a slight difference, and I feel like it will help when I get mascara on and I get eyeliner on, liquid eyeliner on. It's going to give me more dimension. So what is happening with you guys right now? What is God doing in your life? What? Oh, that feels so good. What is something he's saying to you? Also, if you don't hear him speaking, how can I pray for you? I take that really seriously. Prayer is a really important thing, and I would love to pray for you. So leave below in the comments your prayer request, and I will be praying for you. Okay, I just needed to curl those really quickly. And now I'm going to go in with the Sephora Collection Black Ink Fine Line Felt Liner 12-hour wear. I'm a little nervous about this, but it's going to be great. I'm going to do what I call a work appropriate wing, which is going to be just a small wing that kind of points more up than out, and it just is going to give a little lift to the eyes. I have a TikTok that I made about how to do this look. I will link that below if you want a tutorial of how to do this. Okay, that went on super smooth. It's very black. It is a matte black. It's a demi matte. There's a little bit of shine to it, which I kind of like. And I feel like it went on really smooth. It made it easy to get them to be fairly similar. Remember, your liquid eyeliner wings should look like sisters, not cousins. Okay, so I really like that. I think it went very smoothly. It's micro fine, so I was able to kind of like color in some of those areas. And then even as I got into this inner line right here, which I just put a tiny bit because I don't want my eyes to look shrouded in, right? I want them to look bright-eyed and lifted. And so I think even getting in that inner line helped. I am going to put a mascara on. I did not buy a mascara, but I was recently gifted the Gucci mascara. I don't even know what. It just says Gucci mascara #1 Eve Black. So that's the mascara I'm going to use. I know that feels so extra, but it's the mascara I'm using right now. So let me put some of that on. The thing that God has been dealing with me about is really about faith and trusting Him. The thing that He's convicted me about is that faith is a verb, and that because our faith is in Him, we don't have to wait until we feel like we can trust Him. And that's something He's been really working on me with. And it's hard because I want, like we all do, I want control, I want assurance, but I have to remember that God is the same today, tomorrow, and forever, and He is not changing. So despite how I feel, He has been faithful in the past to me, to others, and I know that, and so I don't have to wait till I feel secure in trusting Him, that I can trust Him now. And that should not be a hard lesson, especially because I've been walking with the Lord for a long time, but I went through a really hard season and I needed to hear that again. So yeah, that's what He's been working on me with. One of my other makeup tips that I just want to share with you is for our eyes to look like doughy and big and open. Don't forget to put mascara on your lower lashes. Now, if you have oily lashes or you feel like you get a lot of transfer, I can definitely make recommendations for you about which products to try that will help that. Tubing mascaras will help that. An application technique will help that. But look at the difference between my two eyes. This one has lower lash, this one does not. I feel like it just like draws the eye. It makes them look bigger and more open. Don't forget your lower lashes. Okay, we are almost done. Last step is going to be lips, and I think I'm most excited about lips. Okay, I'm back. My battery almost died. We're gonna do quick lips. This is the About Face pencil that I got from my mini Ulta haul, and I'm just gonna quickly line the lips. One tip that I've learned is not to pull your lips tight when you're lining, just to get the initial line down. Sometimes with like a harder pencil, you can go in and really smudge them and you can pull them tight to make sure it gets in there. But to get your line right, do it with your lips soft. This lip liner goes on really smooth, which I like, but it also makes me feel like I don't know how long it's gonna stay in place. The next lip product I mentioned in my haul is a total splurge, and it better be amazing or it's not staying in my collection. This is the Tom Ford Liquid Lip Luxe Matte. Wow, it's like a tongue twister, in shade 121 Lark. And honestly, the shade of this is what sold me. The color is so beautiful. It's like kind of like a blue rosy mauve, and it did something to me. Now, when I'm applying a liquid lip, I will pull my lips tight because I want to get the color in all of those creases. Okay, So far, that feels amazing on the lips. It's super lightweight, and that's where I feel like these high-end brands win, is the texture and the colors. Oh, it feels so good. It does have a little bit of a fragrance to it, but I don't mind it. It's not overpowering. Last thing, and then we're gonna set and be done, is the Lawless Forget the Filter Lip Plumping Gloss. I got it in the shade George. I thought it was Gorge, but I think it's George. And I love this doe foot. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is Gorge. It like fills in all the cracks and crevices and gives you a plump lip. I'm here for it. I can't wait to try it by itself, and I wish my liquid lip would have been dried down a little bit more. So far, I love it. That is it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, for trying these products. I'll link them down below if you're interested in picking any of them up. I want to know, what products did you pick up? Is there anything you wanted to try? Were there any surprises that you saw from me applying them? And most importantly, there's something that I can be praying for you, please link it in the comments below. I would be honored to pray for you. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I, and we'll see you next time. Bye.